All right, so now that we know why we're here, actually, come to think of it, some of you might not have ever had a conducting lesson. Like, I know some people that were performance majors who ended up conducting high school choirs and orchestras without a conducting lesson. And gosh, that's scary. So maybe this is your first lesson, and if this is, you're welcome as well. This will be a great foundation for you. So anyway, we are the ICTUS Institute, and therefore let's start with the Ictus. Now, you probably know that the Ictus is the point of the beat in your pattern. So when I'm conducting a 4 pattern like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be very clear as to where all of the ictus are. The plural for ictus is ictus, by the way, in case you were wondering. Now, up until the 1980s, it wasn't really established where the ictus was going to be. We knew that the downbeat was somewhere down here. It was just down, right? And that 2 was somewhere over here, 3 was over here, and 4 used to be up here. And now we keep it down here. Let me show you a picture real quick. This is a picture from a book that was published in 1985, just a couple years before I started taking conducting lessons. And it was published, I'm not going to say by who, but it's actually somebody who ended up being a mentor of mine. So look at this. This is one, how does it even work? So you do see that there's a 1 horizontal plane here, but look, it comes way down here, 2, 3, 4. Maybe some of you conduct like this. If you did, that means you probably studied with somebody who had been taking conducting since before the 1980s. Now, great music happened before the 1980s. Please don't get me wrong. And some of the most amazing conductors in the world conducted like that. But it's pretty much universally understood that for clarity, we need to establish the horizontal plane as being the place where all of the ictus happen. Okay? So I find that the best place for horizontal plane is somewhere between your sternum and your belly button. And when I was at Eastman under Don Newen, he taught us that if you reached out to shake somebody's hand and then lift your elbow, that's a good place for your ictus to be. We'll talk a little bit more about hand shape and baton technique a little bit later, but we're going to go sans baton right now and just establish this idea of the horizontal plane going straight across here, across the horizon. So all of the ictus happen on the horizontal plane. We need to establish that. While we're talking about planes, let's talk about one more plane. And this one, if I can just name drop another one of my mentors, this one was I learned from Jeffrey Bowers and at the University of Washington. And he used to talk a lot about the sagittal plane. I say, well, Dr. Bowers, what is the sagittal plane? The sagittal plane is the plane that goes this way through your body. If we were talking about anatomy, the sagittal plane would divide you straight this way. It comes from, interestingly enough, the Latin word for arrow, which is sagittas. So if an arrow, a sagittas, was shot straight through you, it's the plane that it would make. So a little bit later, as we get into more advanced techniques, probably not in this foundations class, but in a follow-up class, we'll talk about the sagittal plane and how to use that to bring out expression. But right now, we're going to talk about the horizontal plane. We're going to establish that, and then we'll get into our conducting patterns in a bit. See you in the next video.